Okay, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. What I've gone and done is clean my glass. Nice and clean. Look at that, man. The bowl. It took a little work. It was pretty dirty. Been a few days.
Les Peter Guitar Jam. Moo.
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 And I've brought this bag of Gorilla Glue out here to stock up. My jar is getting a little low. So I'm going to restock.
Oh, damn, man. Nice bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean aka Trendy Orca.
Hey, Sean.
Hi Nay.
Hi. Oops. Let's try this again.
Aaron eyed. Hey Nay, what's up?
Hey, Aaron, how's it going, buddy? Sitting here, putting together a jar.
Patrick John Welder. Hello Nay.
Hey, Patrick.
I work at a place for kids, and a lot of PS are homeschooling their kids. James
A
McGill.
lot of parents are homeschooling, yeah.
Cheers Nay. Sean
you gotta do
aka
today,
Trendy
man?
Orca. Bet the G glue smells amazing LOL.
Yeah, it does. James, what's up? All right. Just putting a few more buds in here. Just the right size. Breaking off the stems. We don't need that. We don't need no stems, man. We don't
James
need no
McGill.
stems.
Cheers everyone. Lani Fraden Allen.
Laney,
Hello.
hello.
David
going?
Forsyth. Good morning, Nay.
David, what's up, buddy? So, I put up a tweet. I know nobody saw it, but that's okay. It basically just says that it's kind of interesting the way Republicans are acting all militant about their children's education all of a sudden. You know, now they're supporting Ron DeSantis in saying the kids aren't allowed to discuss their gender if they're under a certain age. They're taking out critical race theory, which is just American
Lani
history.
Fraden Allen. We not only have teachers shortage, but they are not providing bus transportation for our kids either. It's a joke, a dangerous one at that.
Right? So, I understand. This is where we're heading. This is the new reality. And, you know, my message to Republicans are, hey, man, if you guys want to teach a right-wing... If you guys... Rogy's barking at my lighting guy. That's Rick. Rogan, that's Rick. That's Rick. No, you be nice to Rick. Rogan, you be nice to... That's Uncle Rick. That's Uncle Rick. You be nice to Uncle Rick. You be nice. No. Just because he's on a ladder, he's freaking you out all of a sudden? Anyway, if you're a Republican and you support Ron DeSantis taking, you know, American history out of the schools, you support Ron DeSantis in, you know, deeming what your child can and can't say, who they are allowed to and not allowed to speak to, and what those subjects may and may not entail. You think Ron DeSantis should be the one that's determining that? There should be no question as to why teachers, you know, most teachers are liberal-minded anyway. You know, people that want to give to other people and share and help others. Most teachers are liberal. Everybody knows that. And they're all leaving because of Jack Fox like Ron DeSantis. And hey, man.
PNC. Nice bag.
Thank you, PNC. You guys want this right-wing garbage taught to your children, where you don't tell them certain facts and you make up others and you don't allow truths to exist. Hey man, why don't you Republicans come in and work as teachers then, right? Oh, that's right. Republicans are selfish and don't like helping others, and that's why there aren't a lot of Republican teachers out there. That's why they're vastly outnumbered by liberals. Funny, huh? Isn't that funny how that works? And yet the Republicans now are getting the say in what gets taught and what doesn't get taught in schools. It's funny. It's funny. I say, you go teach the fucking kids, you fucking piece of shit Republicans. You go do it. This is your agenda? No more American history? The Americans didn't come in here and enslave people and murder people. Okay, fine. You come teach the classes, you fucking lying motherfuckers. You teach the lies. Okay? Because that's not school anymore, man. Now it's just you with a little dick, trying to tell the world that it's big. And it doesn't work like that, man. Got news for you, Republican motherfuckers. Now you're all crying, oh, my kids don't have any teachers. Oh, you're the one that's calling all the teachers groomers, you fucking dumb Q cunts. What? Oh, I just lost 3 Q cunts, huh? Fuck off. Go get the fuck out of here, you fucking DeSantis ass lickers. Go ahead, leave. You fucking Republic cunts. Go ahead, leave.
When they took out the trail of tears out of the history
and you wonder why there's a shortage of teachers today. Huh. Couldn't have anything to do with the fact that Republicans are taking over school agendas and ruining school for everybody. And liberal teachers don't want to have anything to do with it anymore, huh? That's just me doing this. Go figure. I didn't get that from anyone. That's just me figuring shit out. Why is there a teacher shortage? I don't know. Maybe we should go look and see what the newspaper says the teacher shortage is from. I take my narrative over theirs any day. But I wonder what they attribute it to. I'm just kind of... Did I drop a bud? I hope I did not drop a bud. I shall be very sad. I think it landed right back in the jar. That's what I think happened. I just wasn't looking when it all went down. Let me go grab that newspaper, man. When they took out the trail of tears out of the history book.
They don't want our kids to know that we slaughtered millions of Indians to claim the United States.
Right?
It's bad to not teach accurate history.
Right? Well said, Patrick John Welder.
Lani Fraden Allen. How is that a question? I have kids in college, high school, middle, and elementary, and teachers are dropping like flies.
How is that a question? I think most teachers are liberal, and teachers are getting fed up with Ron DeSantis's fucking right-wing nut job, Republican lying ass fucking agenda for kids. Talk about grooming. Wow.
Fried Drive. Morning.
Deleting history and dictating who a kid can talk to and what they're not allowed to discuss in schools isn't grooming. Because it certainly sounds like grooming to me. It certainly sounds it sounds like you're trying to shape a bunch of kids into becoming Republicans. Huh. If that's not grooming, what is it? You're shaping what they're allowed to hear, who they're allowed to talk to, what they can be exposed to or not be exposed to. That certainly sounds like grooming. To achieve what? So that they become what you want them to become?
Fried Drive.
That sounds like fucking grooming.
Not a bear joke, but my neighbor shot a black bear that was just in his yard, doing nothing. The cops hauled him off. He didn't read the rules.
Did they haul off the neighbor or the cop? I mean, the neighbor or the bear? The cops hauled him off. He wasn't allowed to shoot the bear. So they took him to jail for shooting a bear? Is that what I'm just hauled him off? Hauled off the body of the bear or hauled off the neighbor? Who's him?
Fried Drive.
The neighbor.
The neighbor.
Good. You shouldn't shoot.
He's in jail.
You shouldn't shoot fucking bears, dude. You know. So fuck that guy. I don't understand why.
Nasty Naughty 121. My wife is a high school teacher. Amma LOL. Fried Drive. You can't shoot a bear unless it's trying to get to you.
Is a high school teacher. AMA. I don't know what AMA means.
Ask me anything.
Oh.
Nasty Naughty 121. Amma equals ask me anything.
My wife's a high school teacher. Ask me anything. You can't shoot a bear unless it's trying to get to you. Well, I definitely had a situation where I could have shot a bear, but I still wouldn't have wanted to do it. I just used my cunning and speed and defied gravity to do it. All right, so no law regarding cannabis. I'm ready to smoke. You know why I'm saying smoke? Because I'm listening to all these reporters on TV now, and they're starting to just say words that just sound like normal, sound like satire. They're saying satire. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like a new way of talking, and nobody's correcting them on it. They're saying like science. What are you fucking doing, man? Who's talking like this, and why are you doing it? I swear, the next person I hear talk like that, I'm calling them out. I'm going to make a video about them. I'm going to show you how easily people are. Because remember when Soledad O'Brien used to say,
Fried Drive.
Always,
Yes.
always.
Schools definitely teach local politics.
I'm like, nobody says always.
In homeschool,
what is all?
I was taught panspermia,
If you look at all
but when
the
I
people,
got to public
you
school,
look at
they taught
all the
God
people.
theory. Republican community. I told the kids right.
Yeah, well.
Phil. Hey, nay.
I just have a feeling Republicans are going to find it very hard to find teachers nowadays with this stupid
Nasty Naughty
with this
121.
Republican fucking flavored
There is no gods.
schooling that they're doing.
Patrick John Welder. The way Republicans follow their Christianity should be a prime exactly why our kids shouldn't be groomed. It's hypocrisy.
All right, no law regarding cannabis. Cheers.
Yes.
Phil. Around here they are hiring teachers that don't have a degree.
They need to hire a bunch of Republicans. in case a kid asks, who the Native Americans were. They're nobody. Shut up.
Stephanie Sanchez. Good morning.
Good morning, Steph.
Fried Drive. It's hard to get nurses too for the same reasons. Republicans are afraid of needles, so being a nurse in those places is no difference than being a prison guard. Forcing pills down their throat. Stephanie Sanchez. Or afternoon. Fried Drive. Cheers. Peanut butter breath.
Ooh. Wow. So, Liz Cheney lost Wyoming. She lost to a Trump-backed opponent. Mike Pence might testify in front of the January 6th committee. He's considering it. CNN interviewed Rudy Giuliani before he had to testify in front of the... I guess he had to go in front of Congress. Courthouse. I don't know. He had to go testify on some shit. Donald Trump had a habit of holding on to secure documents that he wasn't supposed to.
Fried Drive.
These are just headlines.
She did. Will they ever find Wyoming again? How do you lose that much dirt?
I don't know. This guy, Adam Kinzinger, says the Republicans have become a cult. Hey man, I'm just going to say, look, if you're going to join a cult, just adhere to the cult, what the cult standards are. You know? You want to teach your kids, a lie instead of history, then go get a job as a fucking teacher and go do it. Since you don't want liberals teaching your kids anymore. You go do it. You go do it. Oh, that's right, you don't want to teach kids because you don't have the patience and you're a bunch of selfish motherfuckers. Greedy, selfish Republican cunt motherfuckers. Right, okay. Huh, it's gonna be hard to find some Republican fucking teachers, isn't it? Real hard. It's gonna be challenging.
Fried Drive. Republicans have always been a cult. Fuck. Since fucking Augustus Caesar. Stabbed in the back. Same.
Yeah, Democrats are a fucking cult too. They're all fucking a cult, dude. They'll believe whatever the narrative is, or they'll push it, and it's stupid. You think some of them are smart enough to know better, but then you're like, wow, man, you're sacrificing your own reputation by supporting something that we all know is an obvious lie.
Any political party is a cult. Fried Drive. Yes, Democrats are also a cult. A group of people worshipping a living person.
Hello, Trinity reporting.
Hey everybody, Trinity here. I'm gonna show you how I do my clones.
Uda 420. Ahoy nay, how's your morning been?
Good. Really good.
Fried Drive. Creators are also pseudo-occult leaders. I have a flock of 10,000. Never agree to meet them. Ever?
Not too many people are talking about the teacher shortage. Let's see what we can find about that. This is from one day ago.
Bruh all day. Anyone need a ego eater?
ABC.
Just bought 45 of them on an auction, LOL.
One day ago.
Schools across the country are reopening their doors, but a
Uda
nationwide teacher
420.
shortage has left many school districts
Awesome,
scrambling
brother.
to find alternative
Awesome.
solutions.
Just
Get
wanted
this,
to pop and see what was going on while I smashed this few pizza slices, then head back out to the garden.
Of labor statistics.
Nays
Joining me
Garden.
now is Aubrielle Elzinga
Download
She's a
Twitter or
former
visit
first-grade
twitter.com
teacher
and
who
search at
resigned
Nays
from
Garden.
her
At
position.
Nays Garden Show.
Aubrielle, thank you for joining
At
us here on
Truth in
ABC News
for the
Live.
full podcast experience.
Thank you for having me.
YouTube channel.
And let me say, shout out to teachers. I love teachers. I'm a big fan of teachers. And to hear that you left your position after such short time, so disheartening. What prompted your departure, and was it an easy decision?
It was not an easy decision. I loved teaching. I love kids. And so it was a really hard decision for me to make. But COVID made teaching a lot harder. And it was really hard to have a work-life balance with teaching.
And you felt you weren't appreciated. In what ways?
I felt like I was given a lot of expectations, but not enough time to do them. And I felt like teachers aren't appreciated as much as they should be.
And what do you think needs to be done to shift the decline in educators?
Well, I think appreciating teachers more, giving them more resources, and paying them more.
And tell me again exactly where you are and what challenges you were facing.
So I am in Colorado, and some of the challenges that we were facing were a sub shortage. And so if we wanted to take any days off, it was really hard. And if we did, sometimes there wasn't a sub to take our day. And so we would have to split the students up amongst other teachers. So we would have about 39 kids in a young class. So having 39 first graders is a lot.
And I'm sure you have a number of friends, colleagues who are still educators. What stories are you hearing? And are you hearing them in Colorado? Are you also hearing them in other states?
Yes, I'm hearing them from both. I went to school in Utah, so I'm hearing a lot of similar problems that teachers are having there, where they just want more support, more resources for the kids. So I'm definitely hearing it from other places across the country.
All right, Abrielle Elzinga-Jarman, we're going to leave it there. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for coming to speak.
Nothing that I'm saying at all.
Families across the country are gearing up to go back to school, some about to start. And while the days of mask mandates and remote learning may mostly be behind us, it's still not quite business as usual, as many school districts don't have enough teachers. NBC News' Carrie Sanders has the latest.
It's back to school for students, but not for some teachers who are leaving the profession in record numbers. Schools nationwide are struggling to find qualified teachers, a problem exacerbated by the pandemic.
You're talking about, dealing with more hassles, more frustration, more depression, more anxiety for the same amount of pay.
An estimated 300,000 public school teachers and staff left the field between February 2020 and May 2022. A recent survey of teachers found almost 80% say they're dissatisfied with their working conditions, almost half saying they're very dissatisfied. And one study found 55% of educators are seriously considering ending their careers early.
I can't believe none of this has anything to do with the curriculum changes. None of it.
Than expected.
Cheers.
Parents are concerned.
I personally know several teachers who have resigned, who just couldn't take it anymore, not feeling that they were valued.
I want you to pay close attention.
In some school districts, fewer teachers means bigger class sizes, adding stress to those still on the job.
That means kids aren't getting the education they deserve and need.
The education secretary telling C-SPAN that both salaries and respect for teachers have been too low for too long.
You could have a master's degree and you have to drive Uber on the weekends to make ends meet. That's unacceptable.
Florida has some of the worst shortages nationwide, with more than 8,000 teaching positions unfilled. The state is recruiting military veterans to teach, even if they're not certified.
We're going to make sure that if we hire military personnel under these new provisions, that they are able to deliver instruction, that we prepare them well.
Critics urge a different strategy, lure experienced teachers back with better pay and better working conditions.
Wow. NBC's Carrie Sanders with that report. And joining us now, the U.S. Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, for joining us this morning. Where do we begin? I think it's a teacher shortage that we're looking at. What is the administration doing to stem the tide of teachers wanting to leave the profession?
Yeah. At this time of year when we're welcoming back millions of students and educators and parents are excited, that this is going to be a year full of promise and possibilities, we are dealing with a shortage issue. And as your clip showed, it's really a respect issue, too. We need to make sure we're respecting the profession, and that means competitive salaries, better working conditions, and teacher voice as we reimagine schools. Teachers make 20% less than than college graduates in other fields, and it's unacceptable. In Montana, a starting salary is $32,000. What are you going to do with that? We really need to lift the profession by making sure we're honoring our teachers, paying them a competitive salary. Teachers have proven they can bend over backwards for students. They've done that these last couple of years. We need to really lift up the profession together as a country. Our students deserve that. They've gone through enough. We really need to make sure we're putting our students first, and that means supporting our educators.
So how does that happen?
Yeah. So, I made a call to district leaders and state leaders to use the American Rescue Plan dollars, $130 billion across the country, to help reopen our schools. Use those dollars to provide incentives to attract teachers, to retain teachers, to bring retired teachers out of retirement without losing benefits. So those are some short-term solutions, but that's not going to cut it. We're going to need long-term solutions. And to that, I'm saying use those dollars and invest in growing your own programs. We have para-educators that want to become teachers. We have high school students that we should be providing classes in high school, a connection to a university like they're doing in Nevada, and then have those students who are graduates of the university go back into those districts that serve them. There's so many programs out there. We need to systematize it, but that requires that we prioritize this across the country. I want our governors, our mayors, our county leaders to give it some thought. We're at the doorstep of a crisis in our country. If we don't take it seriously, we're going to have schools closing, and we don't need that.
Mr. Secretary, this is an age-old conversation that's been going on for generations about teacher pay. They hold such a special place in our lives, as close and influential as anyone outside of our own families, and yet we don't pay them. And we spend a ton of money on education in this country, as you know very well, per pupil and on a gross basis when you compare it to the rest of the world. And I know teachers who are watching just in the last couple of years, $1 trillion go out the door, $1.9 trillion go out the door for Congress, and yet you can't add $3,000 or $5,000 to their salaries to keep them competitive and so that they can live, as you say, on what they make. So what is the answer to the question of why teachers' salaries can't get bumped up?
Quite frankly, it's a respect issue. You know, when it doesn't become the priority, it doesn't get the attention it needs. And I want to remind you of what happened during Omicron, right? Our schools were closed, not necessarily because of COVID, but because we had to quarantine educators that were close contacts. When our schools closed down, our communities closed down. It's unfortunate that we're still talking about this, as you said. And sadly, I wonder sometimes, the profession is made up of 85% or more women. Would this be the case if it was 85% men?
Secretary Cardona,
I don't know.
Secretary, a question about the school year that's just starting now. As you look ahead, do you foresee the kinds of disruptions because of COVID, the pandemic that we've had the last couple of years? Do you think we're all back?
Because of COVID, but because we had to quarantine educators that were close contacts. When our schools closed down, our communities closed down. It's unfortunate that we're still talking about this, as you said. And sadly, I wonder sometimes, the profession is made up of 85% or more women. Would this be the case if it was 85% men? Made up of 85% or more women. Would this be the case if it was 85% men? The profession is made up of, I wonder sometimes, the profession is made up of 85% or more women. The profession is made up of 85% or more women. Would this be the case if it was 85% men?
Sexist, anyone?
Yeah, the patriarchy, you know.
I'm waiting for the chat to, like, chime in on that. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe he said that shit.
Phil. Here's a male chauvinist.
Dude, look how high up he wears his American flag pin, though, on his lapel. He got it up nice and high. It's like he's a fucking politician, man. He got that shit fucking... He can almost lick it with his tongue, bro. It's in tongue licking distance. Huh. Long pause.
Secretary Cardona, Secretary, a question about the school year that's just starting now. As you look ahead, do you foresee the kinds of disruptions because of COVID, the pandemic that we've had the last couple of years? Do you think we're all back to normal now? That was a train wreck, bro. Where do you think we are on that continuum?
On Morning Joe, bro.
Look, I'm expecting the best year yet.
Dude, Morning Joe just jumped the shark with that dude, said making a complete sexist fucking, like you said, Phil, male chauvinist fucking comment. misogynist as it could be. Blaming women for the teacher shortage. No response from the peanut gallery. You know, they all tried to respond at the exact same time and ended up talking on top of each other, and everyone stopped. No one held them to account. What a joke this show is, huh?
Managed COVID-19. I'm not saying we're over it. I'm not saying we shouldn't be precautious. We have to be precautious. Student safety must remain our number one priority.
You know, and it's those infectious women.
Phil. And no one says shit.
It's those women that are spreading it around so much, you know.
But we have better science. We have the tools. We have vaccinations available. Our students need to get back. They need to catch up. Academically, they need to be provided with more social engagement. They've missed a lot in the last couple of years. I expect that the American Rescue Plan dollars
Cardona on Corona
are used to make sure students have
it's
more
Cardona
opportunities.
on
It
Corona.
can't be what it was in March 2020. That's not good enough. Students lost a lot. We have to make up for it this school year. We know how to manage COVID-19. We need to level up across the country. Our students deserve it.
So, Mr. Secretary, before you go, I just want to end where we started and talk about teacher pay, because you're saying that there is money allocated.
No, because I'm a woman and I care about all women's rights, I just want to nail something down here that you just said a minute ago about if it were men, it would be a different situation than it is women. What are you alluding to? Are you saying there would be less teachers that were leaving? Is that what you'd say? Because men would make, what, better teachers? Is that women don't make as good a teacher as men do? Is that what you're saying?
In this latest legislation,
no,
that
she just
could
totally
be
just
used
drops the ball.
For teacher pay.
Right.
But what else could it be used for? What are they taking from in order to raise teacher pay? And should something more targeted and focused in terms of legislation be passed to raise teacher pay? Because chances are not everybody's going to make the same decision across the country as to how to allocate that money.
Right. You know, we'd welcome that. I've talked to parents across the country, and what they're telling me is they want to make sure their children can catch up this year. They want to make sure that there's a highly qualified teacher standing in front of that classroom to provide them the support that they need. So yes, and I'll say the federal government, we pay for about 10% of education nationwide. The state and local government pay the rest. But in that 10%, you've seen a level of urgency from the president and the administration to lift up the profession, to provide American Rescue Plan dollars. I want to see the same level of urgency from states and local leaders to make sure that teachers are getting what they deserve because they serve such a critical role in the development of our country.
Mr. Secretary, as you look back now with some hindsight, a couple of years or so, looking back on how we handled our schools, of course, at the beginning of this crisis, we didn't know what was coming. We didn't know how dangerous coronavirus was. But as you review with the people in your department, do you think the schools should have opened sooner with fewer restrictions now that we know about masking, now that we know about kids tolerating coronavirus better than it did? Could kids have come back? Could they have been retained? Could we have not had this sort of, in some ways, lost generation of kids because of coronavirus?
You know, I certainly don't believe it's a lost generation at all. If anything, as a father of 2 teenagers, my children developed skills that unfortunately it took a pandemic, but they're able to now understand and appreciate the experiences that they have in their school, and they're coming out stronger. But it's incumbent upon us to make sure academically we're catching up our students this year and providing them the support that they need. And to respond to your question, you know, when the president took office, 46% of our schools were open full time, less than half. By November, over 99% of our schools were open full time for in-person learning. So we pushed to open up our schools safely. You know, different community, it's a local decision. So I can't speak about the whole country. I can tell you there's some places that I wanted to see their schools open quicker because we had vaccinations, because we knew what to do. But I can't speak for local communities and local contexts. What I can tell you is from day one, the president and myself made sure reopening schools was our priority. The president prioritized vaccinations for educators that summer, and we were able to reopen our schools. And now reopening is the baseline. We have to do better for our students. They deserve it. They've missed out on a lot. Parents are asking for it, and the funding is there from the federal level. So we need to level up our system of education in this country.
Secretary.
Level up, son. You better level up, son.
Get that prestige.
It's 420. Prestige 4. It's 420.
Hell yeah, I have a ballpark.
Unreal. Me too. No law regarding cannabis.
I'm
dying. I'm dead.
I'm dying.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
So my mom had our light guy put up these motion sensor lights all around the outside of the home. So the deer, or bears, or anybody walking by, whatever, light up the whole goddamn side of the house. Or if I'm just going out there at night to walk the dog, it'll light up so I can see where I'm going.
That's pretty cool, man.
It's gonna be great, man. It's been out there all day. Freaking installing lights, bro. There's one of them right there, bro. There's one of the lights right there, bro. I can see it right over there, bro. Looking right at it, bro. He's got that one pointed out that direction. That's where the bear walks. My mom seems to think the light coming on will scare the bear. I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, I mean, they probably might do it the first few times.
Yeah, and then it'll just get used to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that thing will be out in the daytime before it's night, you know? That's when the thing walks by. It's before the sun goes down. That light might not even come on at that point. It's fun, though, at like 8 o'clock or 7 when the backyard lights go on. The whole backyard lights up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shong. Clean those dead leaves up right
Phil.
there.
Nay, have you heard about the 87K new IRA agents?
Yeah, IRS agents, yeah. Yes, I've heard about it. It's our money. It's our tax dollars at work to fucking go after people with $400,000 or more, supposedly, and collect taxes from the wealthy. Supposedly, that's what that is. But, you know, who knows? So it seems like all the experts disagree with me on why teachers are leaving. The polls say, the teachers say it's because they're disrespected. And I say a lot of it has to do with this fucking bullshit agenda that they're teaching all around the country now. And most teachers are liberal, and they hate that shit. And you're not hearing about that, but I think you will hear about it, but you heard about it here first. That's for goddamn sure. You know? I mean, libs of TikTok is, it's like a whole other level of ignorance. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm just talking about normal teachers that just wanted things to just go the way they were going, you know, teach history. If a kid had a problem, you help them. Nobody fucking press charges against you, you know, or burn books or whatever the fuck they're doing now, these fucking cunts.
Phil. The fuckers are going to be carrying guns.
Texas took the Bible off shelves, school library shelves, the Bible. Go figure that one out. Texas. Texas, man. Who said bears? Oh, that's right, nobody did. What day is today? Bears Day. Today's Wednesday, dude. They're gonna be cutting the lawn between today and Friday. They've been coming out on Fridays. This lawn needs it already. These guys came out here the other day, and they yesterday, whatever, with their fucking survey equipment. And they checked the altitude of our yard.
Yeah, you said that.
They measured the
Around the
altitude
creek.
at a certain distance away from the creek. They seem to be about, Jesus Christ, man, 60 feet away from the creek. They were taking measurements. And they want to know the altitude. And they're doing a survey for the state, for the Wekiva River
Phil. Common core
District.
bullshit.
And the problem is there's people downriver whose land is eroding from the creek.
Nays
Oh,
Garden.
wow.
Yeah, and they're losing
Download
a lot
Twitter
of
or visit
land.
Twitter.com and search at Nays Garden, at Nays
Um,
Garden Show, at Truthier News for the full podcast experience.
And
YouTube channel at Truthier
if
News on
they
Twitter.
decide to set up some kind of a dam system, I'll laugh, and I will laugh because I've always wanted to do that because that'll make, dude, I'll get fucking alligators and fucking big old moccasins and, oh, dude, it'd be so bad as fuck. All kinds of turtles and waterfowl and shit. It's just if the creek was just a little deeper, there'd be bass, there'd be giant catfish and gar swimming in that motherfucker. The level only has to come up a couple feet, and they should do it. They should control the flow of that water, man. But some people aren't gonna like it. I don't mind it at all. I say raise that bitch up 6 fucking feet, bro. Give us a big old river we could swim in and shit. Control the flow of that and do what you got to do so those people's fucking property doesn't erode. I told them, dude, we're getting a lot more rain, man. They're getting a lot more river flow because of the rains. And the only thing you can do about that is fucking dam that bitch up. We're already set up for it. It's really easy to do. It's set up. Put a couple boards in there.
So you couldn't dam that river?
Rick's ladder's right here. He's about to put a light up back here too, I think. That's going to be great, dude. I'm going to be live. One night, it's going to be late at night. That light's going to go shung, and there's going to be like a fox. Just right in the light. Raccoon. All kinds of shit, bro. It's going to be killer. I'll have the camera on. I got the camera right here. I got the camera. I'll put the camera on it. How's crypto? It all crashed. So let's see if it's still down low. 23,420. So yeah, super low. Harmony one is at 0.028 cents. So it's like 2 cents still, but it's almost 3, but it's low. Ethereum's 1843. So we just had this big drop over the last 12 hours. There was this giant fucking crash. And then it crashed the exact same amount. And now it looks like it's trying to work its way back up. I don't know what the fuck happened, dude. It looks like somebody fucking sold off.
Pump and dump.
Yeah, man. It looks like somebody just... Huh. Oh, you're right. Yeah. That's what they did, bro. They pumped and dumped it, and they did it over a period of... almost exactly an hour, bro.
Damn.
No, an hour and a half. An hour and a half. Let me show you guys this. This Cyber Reload called this shit. What's amazing is how accurate you were, bro. So, if you look right here, this is the pump, and somebody bought a shit ton of Bitcoin. And you can see at the bottom of the screen, see that big spike of volume right there? Yeah, someone bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin, right? And look what they did. They waited for an hour and a half, and then they sold it all. Just like that. They bought a whole bunch, they sold it all, they made a whole bunch of money because they sold it when it was up here and just flooded the market. And someone, needed to make some money, and they did it with market manipulation. That was probably one company that did that.
Fried Drive. Elon.
Could have been Michael Saylor, or BlackRock. Could be BlackRock just doing a test to see what they can do. But that's a big old fucking drop. But ow.
Fried Drive. Or Andy Dick.
Andy Dick is always responsible for most things too. That's true. What a disaster. It's a disaster, man. Whatever. Manipulators. Manipulators will manipulate.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I cleaned my bong for this show. It was well worth it. I'm way over here when I should be over there. There we go. That's the ticket. Anyway, you guys are fantastic. I love y'all. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the hour. And I will see you on Twitter. But I wrote really will I. You guys ain't going over there, but that's where I'll be. So I'll see you there.